Deep into the depths of human suffering we go. This is the tale of Joseph Merrick, aka Elephant Man. Joseph was born in 1862 with a really rare medical condition called Proteus syndrome. It caused giant growths all over his body and messed with his bone structure. At first, Joseph had a relatively normal childhood. He had a nice mom and he went to school, but then his mom died when he was 11, so he was stuck with his evil dad and stepmom who forced him to work in order to live there. While working, he'd get followed and severely bullied by the neighborhood kids, other employees, and even his bosses. Eventually, his condition got worse, so he couldn't work anymore and got kicked out. So he was like, I'm gonna join a freak show as half man, half elephant. Joseph made one friend, Dr. Treves, who worked at the hospital across the street. Dr. Treves came to see the show and was fascinated by him. This is where the show used to be. But Joseph had to move to Belgium to be in another show because his closed down. Here he was physically abused, robbed of his life savings, and left for dead by his manager. This was especially diabolical because under his skin, Joseph was actually really kind and gentle and smart. He was an incredible artist and poet into literature and music. Joseph worked really hard to get back to England. When he arrived, Dr. Treves found him in such horrible conditions that he had to immediately be taken to the hospital. During that time, there was a newspaper article about him. People started taking an interest in him, and when they actually gave him a chance, they were like, oh my god, he's amazing, and threw money at him. Then he started hanging out with royalty like Queen Victoria and Princess Alexandra of Wales. With their financial backing, he was able to travel, pay all his hospital bills for life, and go to the opera. Unfortunately, he had to sleep with his head on his knees because his head was so big the weight could snap his neck. One day he decided to sleep in bed anyway, probably because he just wanted to feel human, and the weight of his head broke his spine and asphyxiated him. He died in his sleep and he was only 27, and this is what he looked like underneath all the tumors. So